I honestly can't tell where it all started. I don't know if it was a specific moment and time in history. I cannot associate it with a particular event or identify a single cause behind it. But I feel like we all have it, like we all feel it, don't we? Like this sort of feeling that our life is on autopilot. So we spend all our days just doom scrolling. We distract ourselves at work. We distract ourselves in every possible way. But then there is a specific moment when the noise stops, and then something feels deeply wrong. Like the moment we are left alone, we just our thoughts. That there is a strange existential weight that settles in our chest. The fact is that it doesn't matter how much mindless consumption we throw at it, the feeling keeps coming back. Honestly, it's one of the hardest things to describe, and it's like the words for it have never even been invented yet. So this is something that I carry with me all the time. Most days it just stays behind it, and in the back rooms of my mind, and it's the noise is not as loud, so I can almost ignore it. But then there are days where it suddenly moves into the forefront of my mind without me even realizing it, and in a matter of seconds it just takes control over it. So it changes my entire perspective on everything. It's not necessarily something has changed. Maybe most times, like, things have stayed exactly the same. It's just the way I look at them is completely shifted. I start, questioning my job, my relationships feels hollow, my goals seem meaningless and also unachievable. It's like above all else, then there is also became painfully aware that time is passing by, and I'm just there watching it happen. It's like, in a way, it feels slow, like nothing is happening, but at the same time, it feels like almost like the best years of my life are already behind me. And obviously, time passes for everyone. Don't get me wrong, that's not the problem. Accepting that our time on Earth is limited is one of the best, like the most liberating feeling you can experience. It's more like being convinced of how much you've wasted on it. Like almost you've become a spectator in your own life, and I don't know, you start replaying in your mind every bad decision that you've made so far, like every missed opportunity with the girl you like, every embarrassing mistake you made at school that everyone forgot after a week, every version of yourself that you could have become instead of the current one. And at night these memories return particularly strong, and you end up editing in your own mind like this sort of like highlight reels of all the worst decisions you've ever made. And you almost like you want to soak up and indulge in your own pittiness in a way, which is a very dangerous and self-destructive way of thinking. So you basically lie there in bed, you start judging yourself for choices you made ages ago, and you start putting up this sort of like self-assessment of your own existence, and 9 out of 10 the outcome is never positive. So what is strange during these times is that I feel like nothing matters anymore. It's not because I've become cynical or I've just given up on life completely. I've never been close to suicidal thoughts or anything. I'm naturally a very positive person, but I have my downs like everybody else. But it's just because you feel disconnected from your own life, and that's why everything that has meaning to you, it suddenly loses that meaning, that life force that it has for you. So even the good things, and most likely, especially the good things, You can have people that love you, you can have a nice home, you can have a comfortable life, a job that you love, you can have things that you worked hard to get, and somehow they feel distant, like they don't really belong to you, but they just something that allows you to go through with life. It's like, I don't know, like imagine that these pieces of your life are displayed in a glass case, and you're just looking at them like it's this weird museum, and you know they're there, you know you should be appreciative of them, but just you cannot feel them. It's almost like someone has been making decisions for yourself like your entire life. You don't know how you got here, you don't know what is the exact chain of events that led you to this exact point in history. You just wonder, you know, if at some point, like there is the specific decision that you could have made to alter the entire course of your life. And it's just sometimes like when you try to rationalize these thoughts, like the weight of it becomes so unbearable. You just wake up one day and you just, I don't know, it's like you're living a life that you don't even recognize anymore. When this happens, I just feel almost like sedated, like I've been injected like a mild dose of anesthetic, and I don't know, like it's like nothing is bad enough to hurt me, but at the same time nothing is good enough to make me feel joy. So I feel in this weird emotional limbo where I feel nothing at all. I don't know what to eat, I don't know what I want to do after work, I don't know what I want to watch on the TV. It's just every choice that I make, it seems equally meaningless. Then there's another part that it scares me even more, which is the anger. And it's not like explosive anger where, you know, the kind of that would make you punch through a wall or scream at the top of your lungs. It's just like an exhausting kind of anger. The anger that sits at the bottom of your heart, and it becomes like a dormant volcano. It's waiting to explode, but the eruption never happens. So it feels like it's just building up, and that causes tears to sit behind your eyes. Like you feel like they're there, but they wouldn't come out. So they're ready to fall, they never do, because you can even identify exactly what is the thing that you would want to cry about. Then, like, I don't know, you end up watching a 30 seconds reel of rescuing dogs in the street, whatever, and you end up crying for 15 minutes. You think it's the dog video, but it's actually that video has triggered something. It was something that made the small eruption occur, and you've liberated something that was deeply closeted in you. Maybe also that's what makes it so frustrating at times, because you cannot identify what it is. It's like if it was a clear enemy, someone, something to direct my anger towards, it would be better, because I can say this person or this event that is what responsible for the way I'm feeling right now. But it's not even concrete. You can even identify with words, so you don't even know how to direct their rage, and that's why it keeps building up. It's a subtle enemy, like it's invisible. Like what is that? When you're trying to fight something but you don't even know what it is, you don't know what to do, and you end up just punching the air. So you don't know how to fight back when you feel, when you feel hit by these feelings, and it just, while you're trying to figure it out, in the meantime, like life keeps passing by. After this kind of feeling, it is very deep and very complex. That's why I'm struggling so much to try to define it. But normally after a couple of days, like it's not like it's finished, but it kind of like it sedates itself again. It goes back to manageable levels, and then life keeps going, the routine continues. You go to a job that you don't particularly care about, you scroll through social media, you binge watch on Netflix, you keep distracting yourself. Not because like doing these things are bad, like they're not inherently bad, but because they keep you from confronting a question that feels terrifying, which is, what am I actually doing with my life? Maybe I'm making no sense right now, and all of this sounds overly dramatic, but there are days where I'll spend hours doing things I know don't matter to me. Then late at night, I suddenly try to overcompensate. I'll start writing, I'll start working on projects, I'll exercise, I'll do something productive just to feel like I'm still in control of my day and I haven't wasted it completely. But sometimes even that is enough, because deep down I consciously know that another irreplaceable day of my life has gone by and I've traded it for comfort and distractions. That sort of like realization pretty much follows me everywhere, and it turns basically into mental exhaustion, and then mental exhaustion turns into physical exhaustion. Suddenly you're tired all the time, but not because you're doing too much, just because you're bearing thoughts, self-destructive thoughts that are too complex to dissect. So you don't even know how to actually face them or express them. The strangest part of it is how we manage freedom. So sometimes I would work all day and I only have 2 or 3 hours for myself, and I try to squeeze the living hell out of it. So some other times I'd have a full weekend for myself, which is incredible, and you're like, oh my god, I can do so many things, but you end up doing nothing at all. Like you end up all day just procrastinating and wait for motivation, wait for the divine light to give you some sort of inspiration. In a way, and this is gonna turn a lot of heads, school was easier because we had homework, so the assignment in that sense was clear. You just had to go home, write it on your notebook and bring it back the next day to be marked, and that's it. So the path was already laid out for you. But adulthood is completely different. Like nobody is giving you assignment. Of course, like you have a boss that's giving you things to do, whatever, but it's not like you are like you can choose not to do them, because you are in charge of your own free will in a way. So you basically had to create that sense of self-assignment where even if no one is telling you what to do, you're like, okay, this is what I need to do for myself because this is meaningful to me. So sometimes realizing the weight of that responsibility is soul crushing. So you should be doing more, but the fact is that you don't even know what more means. Like everything feels important, everything feels urgent, everything feels overdue, and then when you accomplish something, you start questioning if it mattered at all to begin with. So sometimes I feel like obviously every choice comes with a sacrifice. It is like it's normal, like you're choosing something, so you are naturally giving up on something else. So you choose one path, you lose another. You commit to one dream, you abandon other 10. And eventually the pressure of making the right choice is so overwhelming that it stops you from choosing altogether. Like you freeze, you hesitate, you keep waiting. And in doing so, it's almost like time is making the choice instead of you. So Maybe that's what the feeling really is. It's, it's not depression or laziness or failure. Maybe it's a sense of grief for all the lives that we could have lived, all the versions of ourselves that will never see the light of day, all the roads that we didn't explore. The fact is that modern life gave us something wonderful, which is pretty much endless possibilities, in the sense that you can become anything you want, but at the same time, although it sounds liberating, it's actually paralyzing, because by having infinite possibilities, how do you even choose the right one? How do you, the truth is that nobody can do that. Maybe the realization that you cannot choose the right path, above all the paths, because it's simply impossible. Because since there's infinite possibilities, there's also infinite right choices and infinite wrong choices. So accepting the harsh reality might help you, might help bring you some peace. The people, even the people we admire, which we think, oh my God, they were born to do this, they were born to do that, they knew it the moment they were born. They don't know what they're doing either. No one does. There's idiots all the way to the top. Most of us are just improvising. They're making decisions without having all the informations. We're just guessing, we're failing, we're adjusting, we're moving forward anyways. So the search for certainty is what actually making us miserable, because certainty doesn't exist. Life isn't a puzzle where you have all the pieces, but you just need to find the one piece that you put it together, and life is incredibly solved for you. That doesn't exist. It's something life is something that reveals itself to you as it's happening, as you are experiencing life. Maybe finding yourself was never the goal. There is no version of yourself that is waiting to be discovered. You have to create yourself. That is one of the most beautiful journeys you can embark on. And also the beauty is that you can reinvent yourself again and again. So through every mistake, through every wrong turn, through every period of confusion, every day that feels wasted is actually a lesson learned that you can apply the next time you see the feeling it's about to hit you. So despite how lost we sometimes feel, we're still here. The answer, the magic is in keep searching, still asking questions, still hoping for something more. Maybe that's the reason why we haven't disappeared after all. Maybe that's why we're not lost. We're just unfinished, and we will never be finished. There's always a new piece that we can add to the endless puzzle of life. Perhaps the most meaningful thing we can do to become the best version of ourselves is to start participating in the life that it's happening right now, not in the life that could have happened if we did this or did that, or maybe the life that's gonna happen in the future if we do X and Y. Because one day we're gonna run out of time, we're gonna be on our deathbed, and we're not gonna worry about whether we chose the right direction in life or not. We're just gonna regret the path, the decisions that we refuse to make, the things that we refuse to do because of fear, because of laziness and whatever. So this, the choice that we didn't take, they're lost. So we need to try to make the best of the choices that we make now. So this is probably the answer to my question, like if we can we still find ourselves in this difficult time. The question is the answer is maybe, but first we need to stop looking for some like hidden version of ourselves that's waiting in an unspecified future, and we need to start paying more attention to the person we are becoming right now.